Welcome to Let Jamie Talk. I'm Jamie in the studio with Ben and Brett.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. I'm feeling a little out of place here because it is not Friday morning. And I don't know if you know, but Friday mornings when we record
I do
the podcast thing, It's kind of like when we do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We're going to get done and we're going to be like, oh, we have the whole day ahead of us.
Yeah, I've thought it was Saturday all day today because we didn't come in here first thing.
Well, my day is totally messed up.
Well, yeah, but it's your fault.
Well, it is. I had, listen, dude, I've been sleeping in lately. And by that,
What does that mean?
7 o'clock.
Okay.
I mean, I shoot for 5.
Right.
Dude, I don't know who keeps turning my alarm off. It's like
It's the cats.
I'm like, is it still going on? Is it I don't know.
Oh, like it goes off and then it's you hit it?
It's like it alarms, but then somebody turns it off. I think it's possible that I am so good at turning it off in my sleep. Or between maybe there's a state between asleep and awake.
Right.
And that version of me turns my alarm off so that I don't have to get up.
Yeah. I think it's called purgatory.
Okay. We'll look into that. But so anyway, I've been sleeping in a little bit, but this morning I had to get up early to go deliver some job site waste to the recycle center.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What time is that open?
And then they open it. Dude, the gates open at 7 in the morning. And they close a little early though on account of them getting there early, I think. So like
Still
it's kind of, it's hard to tell. Like if it's after 3, you got a 50-50 chance. Even though they're technically open till 4:30, I think.
Yeah, the posted hours.
Yeah, you got a 50-50 chance if you come in between 3 and 4. And you would normally think, oh, I got tons of time. It's not 5 o'clock yet. But that's not how it works around here.
Okay.
But I'm really good friends with the guys there at the way station and all the recycle center. And we're all buddies. And we see each other on a near daily basis with all the stuff that I got going on. So,
I mean, they buy trucks from you and things.
Yeah, they do. They do.
I saw it there this morning.
They actually, yeah. And I bet you didn't hate seeing it, did you? I
mean, for a second, I was like, wait, oh yeah.
I know it's confusing.
But he did take the ladder rack off.
He did, and I don't know what he did with it. He probably recycled it. I still need a rack on my work truck, by the way. I'm driving the
Have you even looked?
Well, listen. Okay, do you want to know? Don't ask if you don't want to know.
But
I got to sip on some coffee.
You keep saying that you need the rack, but I don't see you looking for a rack.
All right, I'm going to tell you a short story. I need a rack.
Okay.
That was pretty short, right?
That was good.
Now let me tell the backstory. I've had the same rack on my work trucks, okay, since I lived at home. I only know that when I got this rack that I had until 2 weeks ago, I bought it when I lived with my parents. Yeah, that was, I was 22.
Right.
I'm 41 now. That's a pretty good long run for one rack.
It is.
And it had been on 3 different trucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm listening.
It did good. And I made it better every time I took it off one truck and put it on another truck. I would like weld another part.
Yeah.
Or redo some other part that was like maybe the paint or some part that was breaking.
Yeah.
Where are you going, Ben?
I got to step away. You keep
All right.
Yeah, the funny thing is it was, I asked you to get a ladder the other day, and you looked at me like I had lost my mind because you didn't have a ladder rack.
I don't have a ladder rack, and I don't want to
pick up.
I know, but I don't want to. Here's the thing: I don't want to be one of these guys with the ladder sticking 10 feet out of the bed of the truck. I don't like that, but I also don't want to be the guy that straps it on top of the cab because I can't really deal with that too much. But so okay, I'm gonna tell the story now that I promised you a minute ago. So yes, I thought about buying a rack, and I really need a rack, and I really want a rack. I looked on Northern Tool to see if I could get the exact same rack that I had because I knew that I liked it. And I'm this way with a lot of things. When I find a thing that I like, I kind of stick with it. When I find a burrito at my favorite Mexican restaurant, and we have a lot to choose from here in that category, I go and I get the one that I like all the time because
it's tough to try something new.
I know what I like and I like to stick with it. So, okay, the rack when I bought it 20 years ago was about $300, maybe $2 something, and $300 total, shipped, delivered. And it comes in a really small box, by the way, a way smaller box than you would expect for a rack, flat packed and all that. So they figured out a great way to break them down and ship them. So that same rack now delivered to my house is about $1,000, which I was about ready to do it. I really was. And a toolbox. I need a toolbox, like a cross. What do they call them? There's a name.
For the one that just goes across the bed?
Yeah, it sits on the rails and it goes up against the cab. There's a name for that kind of toolbox, and I can't remember what it was. Maybe you can look that up. Okay. Not that it matters, but it's interesting to me. But we have with the Perkins Builder Brothers, we have like a sponsor company called Real Truck, and they have like every truck accessory on their website. And so in the past, we have gotten stuff from Real Truck. And I have a potential opportunity to get trick my truck, if you will, from Real Truck. And if they're willing to do a sponsorship deal, then I'm going to wait for it and do some ads for them and get some product and so on. That's kind of how it works sometimes with sponsor companies.
Eric did that, right, for his 250.
Yep, he did. He got a lot of cool stuff on his truck, and at the time, I didn't need anything for a truck because I had my rack, I had my toolbox. I
think that you still had the Dodge. The silver Dodge. Maybe.
I did. I was happy with it all. And actually, speaking of the silver Dodge, I got to drive it the other day. It's Jason's truck now, and I got to put a few miles on it. And dude, it was just like old times. I was like, man, this truck is sweet.
Does it still have the knee buster of a brake?
I don't know. I didn't notice. I never bust my knee on the brake controller. That's only for people that don't drive my truck.
It is called a crossover truck toolbox.
Crossover?
Or a saddle toolbox.
Okay. Who would have thought? Saddle, crossover. Ben, you missed it all. I'm still wearing the headphones. I'm going to take them off now.
No, it's good. I had to step out real quick.
That's okay.
But I'll watch it later.
You can watch the playback. I love it when you give me a hard time for getting up.
Ben had to step out, though, because last night we had such a bad lightning storm. I mean, one of the worst in the 11 years I've lived here, for sure. And his internet was fried.
Yeah, you need the internet. You know what?
We can't do this without internet.
I killed my routers, and I had my guy come, and he got us all fixed up. But
that's good.
Yes. He didn't
Duncan?
He didn't know we were recording. So he was going to come finish up, but I was like, oh.
That's okay. Here at the Let Jamie Talk show, any of us at any time can get up and leave during the middle of recording because we have normal lives too.
Especially me, because nobody even knows that I'm
You haven't even left
building
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not on camera either.
Now
so
he turned his lights off too.
Yeah.
Brett's in the dark.
Well, we're working on lighting.
Yeah, so we're recording in the middle of the day right now, and it's darker in here than in the mornings because you got all the blinds pulled. And my windows are down, by the way, and Brett was like, "That's going to rain." And so Brett's he can look out the window and check the weather.
Yeah.
And he can look out the window and check and see if my windows are down, and he can keep me updated if I need to get up and roll away. So anyway, what you missed, Ben, is that maybe I'll get a rack from Real Truck.
Okay.
Maybe I won't. Maybe I will.
I feel like you've been saying that though.
I have, and I'm going to continue to say it until something changes. But I do need a rack, and it does influence my my routine.
Okay.
Because like the other day, I needed to get some stuff. I went home and got a trailer.
Somebody was mentioning that the Stud Pack guys got a rack from somebody for their truck recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it aluminum?
We may have to look back into that and see who sponsored their rack.
You know what we should do? You're giving me a great idea. We should develop the Perkins Builder Brother rack.
Ooh.
Every man's dream rack.
Okay. All right.
And when
you're going, it's about to go down a rabbit hole. I can feel it. Somebody break out the CAD.
I'm not gonna. Well, we'll leave it at that. That's probably not ever gonna happen, by the way. So, but it was just an idea.
I know, but didn't I? I think I asked you, like, why don't you just build your own?
I could do that. It would take a lot of time.
Yeah, but isn't that what you just said, though?
It is. It is. But yes.
Yeah, but you don't have to start from scratch. You just need to take one and work with a company because having tie downs in the right spot and being able to, it does. It
like
matters.
the builder belt.
Yeah, it takes. I mean, just to build a tool belt, it took 2 years of development, and these are really good. I mean, the people that build these things, they're experts at what they do in designing and making the first, I don't know what you call it, the first models of the tool belt, the prototypes there. Thank you. They make a prototype. They send it to us. We test it. We pick it apart, tell them what we hate about it. They fix that. We did this. I bet you we got 10 prototypes.
Wow.
I bet we did 10.
So that many changes to it.
Yes, constantly. And also improving materials and the little buckles and making it affordable. Yeah. Okay. Let me tell you something about the tool belt.
Okay.
Our tool belt's really good. But I'm going to say something a little controversial.
Okay.
Sorry, Eric. It's not the best tool belt out there. You know why? Because our tool belt is affordable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So can it be affordable and the best tool belt in the world? I don't think so, but I think it's really, really good for the money. That's what I think.
So can you take that same footprint of a tool belt and make a high-end model of it?
You could, but it would cost double. And there's already tool belts out there that cost double. So I got to say, I'm just going to switch back and forth with the headphones. Yeah, our goal in developing the tool belt. Oh, look, I'm looking at a picture of it right now. That's not on this on the screen, I'm sure.
That's just, I just have your website pulled up there.
But our tool belt is attainable, and it's great, and it's comfortable and affordable. And some of the other really great tool belts too, they're just super expensive, and it's so expensive that I just don't think it's practical. A lot of them are over $500-$600. And anyway, yeah. We're not here to talk about the tool belt, but
I'm just now getting it brought up on the screen. So
okay.
Now you talk about it just a little bit more.
We may as well.
That was one of the things we did miss out on when Eric was here was asking about the tool belt and getting into that just a little bit. So yeah, I'm good with you talking about that. I mean,
there's no shame in self-promotion here. I mean, this podcast brought to you by nobody.
Yeah.
But anyway, the tool belt, I don't know how long has it been, maybe 2 years that we've had a for sale version. I would say it is actually still under states of improvement. I mean, anytime that we get any feedback from people, and we are all wearing them every day, literally ourselves, then we have put them through the test and are constantly looking for ways to make improvements. If there's such a thing to do, then we'll try to do it, or to make it more affordable and all that.
So what year did this start, the tool belt?
I don't know. I think 2 years ago. No, three, more than 2.
Yeah, if you prototyped it for 2 years, it had to have started more than.
Okay, 3 years I think they've been for sale maybe for 3 years.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I'm totally guessing though.
We'll call it around 2020.
I can only base it on what job I think I was on when I started wearing one. And then, but see, I don't remember what jobs I did.
Well, you used to wear a leather belt.
Yeah, I had a leather pouch setup.
Yeah.
That I didn't hate either. And it's kind of one of those things where you don't necessarily know what you're missing out on. If you've always had the same thing. Like, I never wore suspenders before, and I thought suspenders were terrible because when I did finally get them, they were just like a strap with a little metal
not comfortable
thing, and it would like dig into you, and then it was not cushioned at all. And anyway, I didn't love it. And they would pop off like the little metal clips that you would clamp onto your regular belt. Mm-hmm. Those like little alligator clamp looking things.
Yeah.
You've seen those, right? Yeah. Well, those would like stab you every now and then when you twist sideways to go in between some trusses, and you get like jabbed really hard by them. So that's what I was used to. And I was like, man, this is no good. But honestly, the Perkins Builder Belt is quite comfortable, padded shoulder straps. And I put most of the weight on my straps. On my shoulders, I don't really carry a lot of hip weight, I guess you'd say.
Right.
Like, I don't tighten the belt around my waist so much that I feel like I'm supporting the weight of it. And I also try to carry as little weight in the tool belt as possible. Like, I empty it out if I'm not using that thing like that day. I'm not interested in carrying every tool I had. And so that's part of the approach for our advertising is that carry only what you need. And like, it's a slim type design. We refer to really big bulky belts as like buckets, like these giant, for putting fasteners in, screws or nails or whatever you're carrying. And you could put a whole box of them in there. But we actually have designed our belt to be slim in design on purpose for, making it easier to crawl up and down scaffolding and through houses and studs and not get snagged up on everything, and to not be totally heavy. So
and there's a specific way that you have the hammer loop designs?
Yeah, we have it's like a sheath, I think we call it. So there's not a hammer loop like you would have on a traditional belt where the head of the hammer hangs on a little metal hook loop thing. That's kind of the traditional way, and we did that for 20 years, all of us on the job. But, it swings around a lot more. It'll knock you in the knee with the old style of holster, if you will.
Right.
So ours is like the full depth of the handle. And I use a wood hammer. I'll use a stiletto. Just the plain Jane, cheapest wood handle stiletto is my favorite hammer. The framing, I think it's a 14-ounce hammer. And that wood handle slides into the sheath really good, really easily, really well. I'm not very good at grammar, so
don't go down that road again.
Oh goodness, yeah, don't correct me.
But Eric does sometimes the titanium in his thing, and it has a rubber handle.
Yeah, one thing we've learned.
Heard him talking about that.
It sort of hangs up.
Yeah, the really super grippy rubber handle on the all titanium stiletto is it wants to not slide down the sheath as easily, and you're taking your hammer in and out a lot all day. Okay, it has to slide easily. I don't have that problem as much because I prefer the wood handle. But what we do is put a little electrical tape on the butt end of the rubber handle, and it makes it slide down in there just fine. So,
now what was the original reason that you were like, was it you or Eric, or was it not even you guys that got into let's design our own tool belt?
I don't know how Eric got in contact with the person that is in charge of the company that owns and has all the capabilities to bring, literally from raw material to sourcing all this products that it takes to build a tool belt to actually owning the manufacturing process and the companies that manufacture to all the distributing to the packaging to the marketing. It is a big deal. Like if you went out on your own to try to achieve this, I don't know how you do. I couldn't even begin to figure out how to make a product, patent it, all the patent stuff, and to make sure that you're not stepping on other people's patents when you design something. It's actually super complicated. It takes a whole team of people.
Yeah.
And so somehow, I don't even know how it happened. Eric got in contact with the guy that owns a company that builds our tool belts, and it seemed like a good idea. It just seemed like a good fit, you know. And part of it is that if you don't know, marketing costs money. Did you know that?
I did.
Marketing costs money. So, and it costs money no matter where. I mean, if we make advertisements and you see an advertisement for a tool belt that has our name on it, well, that marketing content costs somebody something to produce, right? Yeah. So there's no way around that. But the tool belts that we make are not available in a store. You can't go to Lowe's or Home Depot and buy it. It's online or straight through us at PerkinsBuilderBelt.com.
Good job. You got it right.
Thank you. Off the cuff there. And so part of the reason the cost savings that we have and why it's affordable is because it is not getting marked up again by another store that's, buying it and making a profit, selling it. All right. Economics 101, right? So at any rate, that is why it is possible, and that is part of the, let me think here, the company that is doing this, the manufacturing and all this for us, that is something that they were looking for, some products that they could partner with people like us, that they could develop really good products and build them and sell them in a different pathway than the traditional go through a big box store.
Right.
So that was a desire on their end. It was a desire on our end to have a product of some type. We were interested in that, and so it seemed like a great fit, and I think it's working great.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think so. I mean, and like you said, it may not be the tool belt everybody wants is to last forever or whatever, but it's made to come to this balancing point of quality and affordability and functionality, to get this out to as many,
Exactly.
And it's exactly. But I will say that, this company, it isn't us. Brett and I don't have any say in the customer service of this or anything. Sometimes we do get emails though. And I'm pretty sure they've been very, very responsive with anybody that's had problems or needed to switch anything out or.
Yeah. If anybody has a problem, people do call me, somebody will find my phone number cause it's out there. on the internet and whatever. That's fine. People call me, hey, I got a problem with my strap on my tool belt. I'm like, dude, oh, dang. And they're like, we sent an email and nobody answered me. And I'm like, So I'll call. I have a phone number for the people that they're trying to email, and I'll call and find out maybe they're out of the country or something.
Yeah.
And, that person, it's not like there's 20 people answering emails for Perkins Builder Belts. There's like one guy, and that's his job. Well, if he's like not available, then he can't answer email. Dude, literally, there was this guy, and he went on and on about his tool belt, about the strap being broken. And he had been so excited to get his Perkins Builder Belt. And it's kind of one of those things where he called me, he told me his story real fast. And then before it was about to end, and I was going to say, all right, I got you, man. We're going to fix you up. He started over and just like said the same story again. And this was like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, dude, I totally get it. And what I ended up doing for this guy, because he was so persistent, is that I'm like, listen, my guy, he's out of the country or something. He's unavailable for maybe another week. I said, but I know you're excited about this. I said, give me your address, and I'm going to mail you my tool belt. Like, you're going to get mine I wear. I did. Wow. I boxed mine up. I dumped all my tools out.
He got Jamie's
and I got most of the sawdust out of it, because I knew mine wasn't messed up. And I literally put mine in the box. I mailed it to the guy, and I said, look, whenever you can either just keep mine and return yours, you get your money back, keep mine. I don't care.
That's customer service.
I can't do that for everybody, or whatever.
That's amazing.
If you call him and say the same story over and over again, he'll do that for you.
Yeah, whatever. Maybe. I don't know. So
totally worth it if you ask me.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jamie. I promise we won't put your phone number on the screen there.
My phone number's out there, whether I answer or not. I don't know. My kids watch a video of some YouTuber that I didn't know. I'm sure he's famous though. Attempting to get 100 celebrity phone numbers, and he goes to all these celebrity events and movie release events and all these fancy parties. And he videoed himself. It took about a year. He was trying to obtain celebrity phone numbers, and he got like 80 numbers out of 100 celebrities that he had planned to get their numbers. It was pretty funny.
Were you on the list?
Nope, I was not. wasn't on the list.
That would have been funny if your kids were watching it and you were one of the celebrities.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think I've hit celebrity status or anything like that.
No red carpet for you.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Tell me, I was glad we talked about that belt, because I forgot to talk about it when Eric was here. I also forgot to ask Eric about his life advice. I've been asking the other guys, and the number one tool in his belt. So we have to follow up with him about that.
I noticed you didn't ask him, and you must have just forgot. He was ready to go, I think.
He was.
Oh, well, that's okay. I can't blame him. He was ready
to get working on his car or something that day.
That's right.
Yes, today we ended up under his car after that.
Today's mega house update. There's a lot going on. You brought some pictures to share. You brought a lot of topics to talk about, I think, about what's going on inside the house.
I'm thinking,
where is episode 99?
Is it really right now?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Just saying, I know where it is. Actually, I told Eric the other day, because we got an email, somebody saying, can you tell me where 99 is? And Eric said, it's on my computer. I was like, okay.
It's going to be released very soon.
I think it's Sunday, right?
I don't know. I don't know if it's coming Sunday or not.
99.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, this house is double or triple every expectation in the time it takes to build it, the money it costs to build it, the amount of videos that we might be making about the house.
Right.
Basically any factor about this house, you could say it's double or something. What everybody expected. So this is an ongoing job. I got to say the mega build is still going.
There's 98 came out 4 weeks ago.
Okay. Well, we've had plenty of challenges. We've had plenty of setbacks. We've had plenty of obstacles, plenty of head scratching, and plenty of stress and all kinds of things related to this job. And we are yet steadily making progress and just looking forward to the completion.
Well, that's a lot. So you're going to have to break all those things down.
So no, I already forgot what I said there. So what I'm going to do, or I think it's actually, this is, I'm just going to kind of tell you where we're at, and Ben has those pictures. So I'm going to list off, basically the things that are being done currently. And this will be slightly ahead of what you see on the videos on the Builder Brother channel. But that's totally fine. Just consider it a little sneak peek. Right now, drywall is being installed in the house. And there's a lot of drywall. I wish I could remember how many boards of 12-foot drywall we've ordered and put in the house. But I don't remember, even though I saw the receipts and everything. But and Ben, let me know when any of these photos go live here.
I will not yet.
And Ben is just queuing up the stuff for us. So the drywall is going in. Basically, it's all hung. And so the drywall, you could consider the drywall installation as two phases. One is just hanging drywall is what it's called, but it's basically installing the boards of drywall. And then there's the mudding or finishing phase of drywall. Okay, hey, there's a picture of some drywall. And so that one's in the basement. This picture's in the basement. We have like 9'6" ceilings. And so that's why there's a rip board at the very top. But some people only hang drywall. Do you know that?
Like for a living.
But they don't finish.
Okay. Oh, they don't finish drywall.
Yes. Some people only hang drywall.
Okay.
And as you might guess, some people only finish drywall.
Okay. I mean, it does. I can see how that's two different people.
It is. It can be. It could be, or it could be the same person. My guy typically is doing the hanging and the finishing, and the guy that's out there doing the work is the boss. He owns. I mean, it's him,
right?
And his brother. They're twins.
Rex and Lex.
Lex and Rex, whichever way you want to say it.
I mean,
I don't know which one came first, but they are twins. My dad. The same guys have been doing my drywall for 20 years at least, and my dad, he was building, and they were doing drywall with him as well. He still can't tell them apart. He still can't figure out which one is Lex and which one's Rex. Luckily, they are basically interchangeable, these two guys.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, right?
They're both drywall.
Dude, if you had them as guests on the show, man. And I mean that like in a compliment, we'd be wide open.
Oh, dude, we couldn't keep up with, I don't know. We I don't know.
Bring them in and let them talk.
It would.
Yeah. Would it be both of them at the same time or just one at a time?
It would be a lot. It might be too much, but they're great guys. I love them, and they do great work, and I persist. I am persistent in getting them to do my drywall. Now, I could get somebody that would fly in there with a 10-man crew and hang it in a very, very short time. Mm-hmm. But on this house, especially on this house, it's just so important that it's done, with care and precisely and high quality and every way that I wish if I did it myself, I would want it to be. But these guys do that. They're very careful not to cover up outlets and make sure stuff is looking straight. And if they screw or nail a board to the wall and it looks curved or bowed or something's weird, they'll let me know before they just cover it, continue on, right? They'll be like, hey, something's, a little whack right here. Which they've never said that in one of my houses because everything's perfect.
Perfect.
No, they're not.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That was a joke.
Well, in this photo here, this is obviously in the basement too, with this stamped concrete floor.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to clean this stamped concrete floor?
That's a great question.
All of this is done.
I'm not. That's the answer. Okay. Well, here's the story: is that first of all, drywall dust is not really harmful to this floor. I'm not going to say all floors. But this floor in particular, it's concrete. And the company that did this is, I don't even know who they are, actually. This was one of Brock's friends in the construction business. They're out of Charlotte or something. They came in, did the concrete, did the staining and the stamping, and they put a finish on it, like a sealer, I guess. Okay, but it wasn't the final coat. Because they know, like you can see in this picture, this thing is trampled with dust and dirt and job site debris and probably scratched and different things. But they're going to come in and clean it and do the final stain or clear coat of finish on it. So they're going to use water. I think we may have got a little backwards on the order, but we just were, I don't know. They probably would have preferred to come in and pressure wash it all. Before there was any electrical or any insulation or drywall, anything finished material, but that wasn't really an opportunity that we had because, to get a completely finished floor, like don't touch it, don't scratch it.
Yeah.
Before drywall goes in is almost a bad idea.
Well, they would almost have to come in and do that and then cover it
It would have to be covered in...
Because there was so much red clay, so much rain, like all that stuff over even before. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That there was no electrical and no plumbing.
So potentially very soon, this floor will get cleaned by the people that are going to come back and put the final coat of finish on it. And then it will need to be covered and protected so that we don't scratch it, drag a ladder across it, whatever. It's probably pretty durable. I mean, this thing it's concrete, right? But the actual finish itself is like, not, I don't know. You could probably damage it, a little bit. I don't have a lot of experience with the concrete finishes or the floors. Right there, are these going? Yeah. As we're seeing them here. Okay, this is a picture of the in a bedroom. There's a fireplace in the bedroom. A little recessed area there for the TV. That's okay. Let me say this: not for the TV. That's for the mounting bracket to be recessed, so that when you actually do hook it all up and you push the TV tight against the wall, the TV will actually be looking tight against the wall.
Right.
And you won't see behind it and see the wires and stuff.
I think that's something people forget about a lot.
Yeah. Now, it's good and bad. It's like, well, if you don't have a TV there someday, well, there's a hole in the wall, so hang a picture. I don't know. There's a good chance there'll be a TV there forever.
At least the outlet,
There is an outlet in there. We used to run coax, too, for cable TV, but that's not really a thing anymore so much. Like, we used to run tons of low voltage phone lines, coax, a lot of security, wiring. I mean, I guess most of that stuff's gone. Yeah, stereo. Oh, yeah, all the time. Running speaker wires, getting, whole house stereo systems. I mean, that wasn't super common, but we did definitely do some.
Intercoms.
Well, hopefully, you see a TV, and I have a TV above my fireplace as well, but you have to, a mantle is sort of necessary to help block the heat from heating up the bottom of your TV. So,
in the instructions for this fireplace, all their fireplaces in here are vent-free.
Right.
Gas logs. They'll run off of LP, liquid propane. Some places you can use natural gas, like if you're somewhere where that's available. Here, it is not available outside of, like the city.
Yeah.
And so they'll have a giant propane tank, and there's a lot of propane stuff in the house. So in the instructions, the installation for this firebox, it describes, everything you need to know about a combustible material that you can put in a certain distance from this firebox in any location and I'll explain just briefly because it's kind of interesting if you never looked into this. All right, so this one is a zero clearance metal insert. And the zero clearance part simply means that the hidden parts of that firebox, they're, galvanized steel. You can put framing right against them or even insulation, but we do use foil-backed covering to cover the insulation. It's like I'm not going to say fireproof, but a metal foil paper is behind that, not just insulation craft back fiberglass.
Right.
Wow, that's a mouthful. But anyway, it'll tell you how high can you put them out, or how low, I guess I should say, can you put a mantle to the top of the firebox, and what is it made of? Like, is it combustible, as in wood is combustible, anything that can burn is combustible. If it is non-combustible, you can put it really low. If it protrudes out from the wall a small amount, it can be lower, and if it protrudes out farther, it has to be higher. Yeah. And there's like this scale. It's like a curve of all the measurements of any potential mantle dimensions and how high or low can it or must it be per the manufacturer recommendations. So anyway, that's kind of a lot to take in. Also on the sides of the fireplace, if you're going to put tile or stone, but what if you're not? What if there's a wall right beside it? What is the surface material of the wall? Is it something combustible like wood, or I don't know where drywall falls, like gypsum board is not. I don't think it'll burn in a campfire, but I don't know if it's got paper on it, so it probably falls in the combustible category. And also the floor out in front, like, some fireboxes require a hearth, and the hearth is just the area straight directly in front of the opening of the firebox. That can be either, stone or tile or brick or something non-combustible. Like if you have a wood burning stove or firebox, what if a log that's on fire rolls out of there,
right,
and lands on the floor?
Yep.
Well, it's good if it's not something like shag carpet.
Yeah.
And carpet's the worst, actually. There's special language or wording in the in the instructions for carpet that they really don't like carpet, man. These firebox.
I mean, laminate flooring nowadays, like, floating floors would melt, I would think.
Yeah, probably vinyl and maybe some PVC or engineered wood floors of different types. Yeah. So there's a lot to it. And when you go to install one of these, you basically got to commit the time, unless you do the same firebox over and over and over, and you're like, that's your job, is just doing fireplaces, which there are people that just do that, and that's great. They probably can do it very fast. But you got to commit to the time to sit down there and read like the whole instructions. Right. You know where it says like, you get a test in school and they're like, the first question or the thing is like, read all of the questions before you answer any questions. And then you read them all in the end. It says, you don't have to answer any of these questions.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I don't know if that made sense. Did I just make that up, or have y'all heard?
I mean, I've heard of that.
Oh, okay.
It never happened to me, but I've heard of it.
Okay. All right, then. So you have to read the instructions. Especially, it's just high risk, doing fireplaces. If you don't read, you just wing it.
So did you take the manual home and read the instructions?
I read them on site. Part of my job is to learn what I need to know about this house at this house. So
didn't you have to move it? What did you had to move a pipe or something?
We raised them up off the floor a little bit. Initially, we thought about putting them flat down on the floor, and that was what we thought was going to happen. And then we ended up raising them up about 6 inches, mostly for aesthetics. It just didn't look right. And we're not doing any raised hearth or any special material for the hearth on the floor.
But the gas line was already plumbed, right?
Yeah, the gas line, my guy that does my gas lines, he jumped in there really fast. He got it piped in. And so I had to call him and say, hey, I'd love to cut this, the gas pipe. It was black iron pipe, and so it was not flexible. So there's like this yellow looking accordion looking gas piping.
Stuff. Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. I'm sure it's got a very special name. And anyway, I had to call him before I cut it because I didn't want to get like, if I cut it with a Sawzall or something and get like metal shavings in the pipe or something, that stuff has got to go through little orifices and things like that. And then that could probably stop up a stove. So we had to do it right or have him do it. I can't remember how it went, but at any rate, we did get it moved and everything is good there.
Corrugated stainless steel tubing or yellow CSST.
Yeah. And in gas piping too, there's usually like a little drop down somewhere. It's like a little, 2-inch piece of pipe that drops straight down for if any particle gets in the pipe, it falls down in.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having a little magnet in your oil pan in your car.
That's right.
To catch little bits of debris that you don't want circulated.
Yeah.
Let's roll on to a few more pictures here. So, we can wrap up the drywall thing here in a minute. I want to show you some of these. We've been calling them fake beams the whole job, but they're actually, I would call them decorative beams. And I say the word decorative because they're just to look at and enjoy looking at them, but they're non-structural.
Right.
There's a few that are structural, but they're mixed in with a whole bunch that are decorative. But this is really the main aesthetic of the main design, and the appearance of this design is greatly based on this faux beam look. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is a major visual feature of this design.
Yeah.
And it's very cool too. Actually, I really love it. This is the first time I've had to do this many of this large, of this scale, of this type of thing. But I actually really like it, and I don't think this will be the last time that we use this kind of design. So here, roll on to another one here.
And this one real quick. Does the drywall go up to the beam, or does the beam go over the drywall? Well,
in this case, what you're seeing there is wood beams that's the framing. And so we'll wrap those, we call it wrapping them with some finished material, and it will butt into the drywall everywhere around it. Actually, in this picture too, you can't zoom in on a picture, can you? I don't know if you can or not.
We'll give it a good.
I didn't ask you that earlier
here.
But you can see in this picture here, there's a bank of windows. Oh, look at him go! Now these windows are wrapped in drywall. The openings are not going to get a traditional like wood trim around the windows. The the look of this house is a lot of like clean, sleek, not like ornate or and our homeowner doesn't love like trim so much. So, you know,
same with the outside.
Yeah, it's minimalist in the trim category. So, you know, all the windows are wrapped. The window casings or the window jambs, if you will, they're just drywall, and they're going to use a little special. I think they call it a zip bead or something. It's a little vinyl, almost like a little corner-looking piece of drywall trim that is up against the window, so it makes a nice sharp edge, a really clean.
It's like seamless.
Yeah, a little tearaway edge. Actually, they'll mud it all, and it'll keep some of the mud, you know, from spilling over onto the window frame while they're doing it. And then when it's all done, I think even after paint, we can tear it off, like a little tear-off tab, but it's continuous around the whole interior.
And do you think a detail like that costs more than doing trim?
Well, let me tell you something. All right. There might be the illusion of cost savings in doing drywall for your window trim, because you're like, oh, well, there's scraps of drywall and that's free, and then, you know, just nail it up and then paint it. Well, that may be good thinking at first, but the amount of time that we spent, maybe zoom back out there if you don't mind, Ben, to show that whole bank of windows. And there might be another picture too that I'll maybe mention this. Okay, when you frame a wall, such as this one, we do our best. I mean, our absolute best to make all the framing straight and as perfect as possible. Meaning, you know, the same exact dimensions for every rough window opening. And I mean, you know, that the vertical pieces are plumb and that the horizontal pieces are flat or level. And in a bank of windows like this, we want all of each window unit to be perfectly in line with each other when they're installed, so that any trim or any detail of the finish is completely straight and in line. Like if one of those windows was a little high or a little crooked or a little this or that compared to the rest of them, it would be highly visible when you tried to trim it out. And to use a completely straight edge piece of material that would continue across all those units. Okay. Wow, it sounds so different when I take my headphones off. I just took them off. Yeah. And I can't even tell how loud I'm talking. Yeah. Does it sound like I'm talking loud?
No.
No? Okay. Whatever. I don't want to have to wear them the whole time.
We didn't change.
Like, okay, that's what I mean. Yeah, I didn't raise my voice or lower it. You know when you're trying to talk to somebody and they got their earplugs in and you're like, dude, stop yelling. I don't want to do that to everybody. Okay, so what I'm trying to get at here is that while we put all of our effort into making as near to perfect framing as possible, it's not perfect. And when you put a window in, you plumb the window or level the window, whatever you like to think of it, with a level, so that the window unit itself is true and plumb and level. And if the framing is out a little bit, then, you know, that gets hidden somehow in the trim out. And usually, like if we trim a window out, like a bank of windows like this, I would make one giant trim unit that would all be built in one piece, that would allow for a little bit of wiggle room inside of the jamb area. That would allow me to slightly adjust the trim. Now it's a lot easier in one little window than this. This is big and all that. And actually it takes a lot of measuring and planning and careful building to build a unit that would hit every marker that I require for having it look good. But the idea is that all the edges of the trim line up beautifully with the edges of the window and the lines of the window, not the framing. And so that wiggle room in the trim is really convenient so that you can align it and make it beautiful. Well, in this case, they're going to screw or nail the drywall to the framing. And if the framing is off, then the line of the face of the drywall and the edge of the window is potentially not perfectly parallel. And that's a problem. Especially like in the living room. I want you to see if is there a picture where it shows like the front door with the high wall? I can't remember what all I sent you there, Ben.
There's one out there.
Let's see. He's going to click through a few of them.
The right one here.
Maybe not from the inside. No, go back a few there. Keep going. Okay, that one right there. Go back one for me. All right, on the very left side, you can barely see, but there are multiple units stacked on top of each other. The front door, the back door, the angled top windows. And so all these units have to line up vertically and horizontally with other window units. And to make that perfect looking, or as perfect as we can, because really nothing is perfect in a house, we used shingles like for roofing, and we cut them into strips because they're really thin, like 1/8 of an inch or less. And we nailed shims. We used the shingles for shims, okay, to align the surface that the drywall will get nailed or screwed to make up the difference for anything that was off.
Right. I remember I was up there one day when Jono was doing that.
Yeah, it can be tedious and frustrating, and you're trying to make alignments. And I would say it's easier with the window trim because you made a thing that you just plop in there, that you look at all four sides of it, all four corners, and you tack it here, and then you twist it a little, and you tack it there, and then you bump it around, and then before you know it, you've got it, basically, and then you shoot it off. But this is different. So we did spend probably 2 days doing just the shingling. Shimming.
We have 1 or 2 windows, so
yeah, it's a lot of window units. I don't even know how many. It's a lot. And then the cost of that material. I mean, we had to buy shingles, so we've got time and material in just prepping all of the openings so that the drywall guy doesn't have to think about it at all. Mm-hmm. Like they can just install.
Well, because otherwise they're gonna just install.
Yeah, they would.
And it's
absolutely
gonna be crooked, and that's not their fault. But
no, and so what would be really bad? I mean, is if we didn't do it, and then they drywall it, and they do their best with what we give them, and then the homeowner looks at it and says, "Why is the drywall crooked?" Mm-hmm. I'm going to say, "Well, it's because we didn't care enough to shim it and make it nice." And so, that's just part of it. So if you're going to do this yourself and you want to do wrapping the drywall into the window opening, then I highly recommend you check all your gaps and make them be all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that was a long way to get to what we're saying about it, but that is what it is.
Detail.
That is what it takes to do what I think is a good job, and I think that the final result is going to be excellent, actually.
Yeah, and this is we're looking sort of out the back of the house towards the view here. Lots of patio doors out there. Yep. Lots of big picture windows.
Lots of light
that don't open.
Most of the windows are what we call fixed or picture windows. Most of them don't open, and they're not required to be opening either. Mm-hmm. And more in house design, from the energy standpoint, outside air needs to be, or they want it to be, highly controlled. Like how much air comes in or out, with the ERVs, what they do is they bring fresh air into the house. This house does not have and is not required to have a fresh air intake or a system that monitors how much air exchange is happening. But it's a pretty tight house, but there's actually a formula that is you have to apply to your specific house if you don't want to use an ERV. Am I saying there's an ERV?
I don't know.
It's will you look that up for me? Yeah. It basically brings in fresh air, but then you have to condition that air.
Well, it's I know there's because I had looked into it. You have to a lot with there's bigger ranges now that people get 48-inch, 60-inch ranges.
Yes, for cooking.
Yes, for cooking, and and then you get a hood fan for that.
Yes,
and that's where I first found out about this.
Yes,
and luckily I wasn't building a new house, and it's a 100-year-old house, so
it's the MERV.
The MERV. What is spell it and tell me what it is?
MERV. MERV.
And what does it mean?
Yep, working on that one.
Basically,
it's called a MERV. MERV.
It's a mechanical something.
Hold on.
Ventilation.
I'll find it.
Air exchange. Something with those words. He's going to find it.
Minimum efficiency reporting value.
Well, that's the metric.
No, that's okay. Well, that's
all right.
That's not exactly what I was looking for, but
I just know it as makeup air, basically. Like
makeup air. Well, yes.
Like whatever air is being sucked out of your house.
Yes.
You want to have that same coming back in and have it conditioned, because especially if you have gas hooked up to your home and your home is super tight, that's one of the things is you don't want to be sucking gas fumes in. Like if you don't have that makeup air, that's the way it's been explained to me.
Yeah, no, it is.
And maybe I don't know if there's other reasons you need makeup air besides a hood vent.
Let me,
or not, but that's
as a non-expert.
Yeah,
I'm talking about me. Mm-hmm. I am not a building science expert. There are people that do that, and they are super smart about this stuff. You can check out Matt Reisinger if you Reisinger.
Yeah,
Reisinger.
I think
You got it.
M-A-U.
Matt
M-A-U?
Reisinger.
No, an M-A-U.
M-A-U.
Does that sound right?
It's
called a makeup air unit.
Okay, that sounds right, but that's not what I was looking for. But I think that's right.
Okay.
What is an ERV? Check that out. It's probably going to bring up an electric car. Okay, all right. Let's just talk about this just for a second here. All right, the hood vent, the fan. When you burn your bacon, all right, and you turn the fan on and it blows air outside, what it is doing is sucking air from the inside of your house and blowing it out. But what if your house is tight and sealed everywhere? Then your fan won't be able to actually exhaust any air out. It'll just draw what we call negative pressure on the house. So if there are any leaks around your windows, or your trims or your doors, or maybe bad gaskets around your doors, then it's going to suck air from the outside into your house. It'll bring air wherever there's a leak. And that is something that they limit the amount of negative pressure that they want to, like 300 or 400 CFM, which is cubic feet per minute, is the amount of volume of air that a fan is allowed to put negative pressure on your house by, if that makes any sense. Oh man, I'm really botching this one, guys.
No, you're right. And it is our ERV, Energy Recovery Ventilator.
Oh boy, that's what I was hoping for.
There you go.
There we go. I mean, these have been around a long time, but it's becoming more and more in as time goes on with building codes. Like when I go to continuing education every year and take my 8-hour class, like all of the stuff is on energy code stuff, the updating the codes. And you as a builder have to be kind of with what the current thing is, right? And even though, it's not my specialty to know all the exact energy codes, like note for note, because I hire insulation companies that are really on top of passing code. Right? Because like if I get an insulator and they insulate the house and then I call the inspector and it fails, I call my insulator back. I say, hey, y'all failed. You need to correct whatever it was, and make it pass, So their interest, the insulators, their interest is knowing the codes and doing it properly to code so that they pass inspection so that they get on with their day and get paid to do their work, right?
Right.
All right, so I don't know what's ideal, a super tight house or a house that leaks a little. I don't know. My personal house at home leaks a little.
Right.
Maybe a lot. But I don't mind a little fresh air. But I also don't have an ERV.
You also built it before that code was in place.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In different areas in the United States here have different requirements. For example, we are not required to do a blower door test. Mm-hmm. That would be a test that a specialist would do with special equipment to put a suction on your house and see how much air leak there is in any of the openings, or from floor to floor, from a crawl space, from a roof, or whatever. It is a cool thing to do. And we have done some and experimented around with ways to get a much tighter house. They put smoke in it sometimes and they'll blow out or pull it in or whatever they do. And you'll see a little leak around an outlet outside, or maybe a hose bib or a window trim or something. But in general, we're building houses so much tighter. Our standard way of building is so much tighter with zip system and
but you
tape.
Don't advertise yourselves as like green energy builders
no,
either. So
no, that's a different thing. I mean, to get a certification to say that you're legitimately, certifiably a green built or gold star or whatever. I don't know what there's a bunch of different ones you can achieve. High energy ratings, and maybe there's some kickbacks. Like there actually could be some government savings, like in if you actually build one that's hyper efficient.
Well, you can get tax credits for buying the right windows, and I don't know if they work on the upfront though, only in like remodels.
Yeah, so anyway. I'm not saying it's not worth it. It might be there might be really great benefits to doing it that I'm not fully researched on or whatever. So we built a pretty tight house, but I'm not going to say it's the tightest in the world. But
are they going to have two sinks? Like, is this a sink over here?
Yes.
And is this a sink in the island?
Yes, the main kitchen sink is there over the big window. It's a 6-foot by 6-foot window. Wow, what a kitchen window. I mean, not that I should compare this to my house, but dude, when in my kitchen sink, not only do I not have a window in front of it, there's a cabinet. Like I put a cabinet because I needed this storage. And, so when I go to other people's houses and there's like a nice picture window and you're at the sink, it's like, wow, this is so nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this one is amazing.
It is.
It's like the best view in the house. You could probably even find me doing dishes there.
It has a view of views, and it has a beautiful large window to enjoy it.
It really is a picture window.
So it is. It's picturesque even.
Picturesque.
There's another little prep sink, by the way, in the bar. There'll be an island bar.
Yeah.
And that, another little sink.
The what's going on? I mean, there's those through and through beams outside.
Yep, there you go. So they're built in separate pieces, but they are perfectly lined up to appear to be going through the house. And those are trimmed out with the exception of there's a cap that goes on the end of it made of black roofing metal, basically flat sheet metal that will protect the end of it. The ends of them are going to get weather a little bit. They're going to get a little wet here and there. And so I didn't want to do a wood piece out there that could crack or warp or look bad or just rot, really.
Yeah.
And then we've got the stonework on there. I'm so happy with the way the stone turned out. That stone is it's called like a chocolate gray stone. It's a real stone. I don't know where it came from actually, but it got bought locally here from a local rock yard. And then the shape and the design of the way they laid it is called ashlar, I think.
Okay.
So it's an ashlar pattern, I want to say. And they literally cut these rocks with a saw right there on site.
Wow. And do this pattern.
Yeah. I mean, you might be able to buy them kind of squared up or something, but these rocks were not. They literally sawed with a concrete saw each rock to be pretty square.
That's pretty impressive.
It is. And then there's outside corners too.
It looks like a lot like the drawing too, right? Like the actual...
It does. It does. Okay, yeah. There's the fireplace. That's like 30 feet tall, the fireplace outside. And there's outside corner pieces. So it gives the illusion that they use full thickness of stones because the stones wrap around the corner, and it would make you believe or lead you to believe that those stones are full thickness, like 4 or 5 inches thick. But that is a veneer stone that is only about 1 inch thick. And so that's good because it's lightweight compared to a 4-inch thick stone wall.
And there's an external fireplace there.
Yep, there's a stainless steel firebox, and it has its own set of requirements.
But that'll be a ventless one as well.
It is. Right? Yeah. There are no. If you scroll all the way to the top, go to the top. There is a flat metal cap.
Right.
On both. There's another chimney too.
There's one of those end caps.
Oh yeah. There you go. Yeah. I had my roofer do that. They have the metal brake on site, and they can just fab those things up out of nothing, and it's really awesome.
I will say that metal soffit's pretty sweet.
I do like the metal soffit. There's really great benefits to metal soffit and fascias. I highly love them. Brett's raising his hand. He loves them.
Oh, the caps are on down here now.
Somebody had asked, there's no ridge vent or soffit vents.
They asked if there were vents.
They noticed that there weren't any in the soffit, so maybe you can explain that a little bit.
Yeah, so this may get back into the building science category, but as far as I know, when you use spray foam, go ahead, crack your drink open there, Ben.
I want a little ASMR for you there.
I had to pause for that. When you use spray foam insulation and it is applied directly to the bottom of what we call the roof deck, which will be the bottom of your OSB or plywood roof surface that your shingles or metal is applied to, in that case, you do not have to have a vented soffit, which would normally allow air to travel from the low side of the soffit in between the insulation and the roof deck and flow out the top side of the roof, which is a passive airflow system based on the chimney effect where hot air rises and it draws in cool air passively, which is a good design. And it would still benefit the house if it had been vented. There would still be some benefits like maybe keeping the attic. There's no attics in this house, but if you had an attic, it would keep the attic space cooler potentially by a little bit. And it could potentially prolong the life of your roofing material like your shingles or metal. Mm-hmm. So and there's different ways to do all of that. You could do spray foam and a vented roof, and people do that too. But it is not required. And this one thing about this soffit is non-vented, and all the panels that make up the soffit are flat and smooth and flush. Mm-hmm. So this is called like a flush lock or something is the trademark name of this particular design. So in my opinion, and also in my homeowner's opinion, the flush and flat, smooth soffit panels are prettier than vented panels.
They look great.
Yeah. And because you would use typically a combination of vented panels and non-vented panels when you do a soffit that is vented, because you don't need vented soffit on the gable ends, because that's not where the venting happens in the soffit. Although I bet if I looked at my house right now, I probably put vented soffit on the whole place. In my attic, I mean, like building science, I don't know, dude. I wish I knew it all, but I don't have time to know it all about what is the most current thing going on right now.
Yeah.
And it comes down to architecture too, because to implement a really great designed like net zero house or a high energy efficiency house, it needs to be designed to be that way. Mm-hmm. You can't just, maybe some case, but you can't just take your house plan that you drew and all of a sudden convert it into a super high efficiency house, because it goes way beyond selection of, a few materials and did you vent your soffit or did you get an ERV? It's like built in from, literally the foundation through every wall design, we would call that the envelope, the outside, every wall envelope, and every roof system, every venting system, every appliance, the direction of the facing of your house, every window that either faces the sun or doesn't at every angle.
The eaves, probably.
Yeah, the length of the soffit overhanging to which the sun comes in, what window at what time of the year, and what surface does the sun shine on in your house when it does. Yeah. Like, is it a material that's going to hold the heat and release that heat slowly, like a heat sink? Right. Is it concrete? Is it something that's going to absorb? And, it's like I said, you can definitely do things to make your house more efficient, even in a remodel situation. But if you want a hyper efficient house, you need to get an architect that knows this stuff and loves it. Yeah. And we just don't do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
We also live in a moderate thermal area.
I've heard that word, moderate.
We don't have extreme heat and we don't have extreme cold for a long period of time. So
right.
Yeah. Well, we had a heat bubble, whatever it was called this past week, where we were felt like 100 degrees or near that. And it's crazy. You notice, just how much closing curtains or blinds can help inside your house.
It does.
Especially if you have old windows or, any of that stuff, it just helps cut some of that out.
Yeah, it does. I wish we could be more strategic on that front. But I got to say this too, and not that I need to defend what we do or anything, but in our defense, the homeowner says, I want my house to face this way. That's where the view is. And that's it. Yep. It's not, if I tell them, well, you should turn your house 90 degrees and forget the view or redesign your whole plan because.
And is this house facing, is it west?
Dude, I don't even know.
South, right?
I do. You literally, it's facing down the hill.
Southwest, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. It's, when you think about it.
It's facing the view, Ben.
It is.
Whatever way that is, that's the way it faces.
But it also is just financially, it's where we live, it's diminishing returns. Because what you're talking about building to that level is exponentially more expensive in a lot of cases than what you're building. And the return on that investment in where we live isn't great. It's the same, I've looked at solar panels here, but I don't use that much power. Mm-hmm. It's really a hard math. When I lived in Southern California, I had solar panels.
Right.
Because the math was really easy.
And it paid off.
Oh, yeah. 360 days of sunshine, it pays off.
Well, there you go.
Right. Well, there's a lot of homes here that look at views, but a lot of them are west facing. See that,
including Jaime's.
that sunset view. But what that means is for the last 5 hours of the day is you're going to get fried. So either if you're inside or outside, it's just straight sun in your house. And you don't have necessarily a ton of windows in your house.
I don't. West. I would say my house is under. Let's see, what's the word? Give me a second here. It is under. Hold on. Wait with me. Hang on. I don't have as many views.
Just say.
Just wait till I figure out how to say it.
Under window.
It's view deficient.
There's not as many windows facing the view, and not as big of ones that are there. Than if I redesign my house now.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these homes, even the Mega one you're working on now, is some of them are just all glass, pretty much. When it looks at a view.
It
and
is
it's facing west.
It is.
And then they just like you can't stop the sun, and it like heats up their entire house for like the rest of the day.
I think eventually they'll look into, maybe some tinting. You can get your home windows tinted with reflective, tint that you can't really see too much or different
at some
things.
point, it's like your HVAC system just can't.
It's true.
I can't do anything any faster.
It's true. But this one may not have that problem though, because this
has 8.
This, as the mega word would imply, this house has AC till you.
They
it's going to
still
be
might want to tint the windows. They had I had one window in my house in California that faced west, and I had it titanium tint put on it. It was one. It's like clear basically, but it's all about the heat.
Right.
So.
Now,
and it wasn't that, I mean, it sounds expensive because it's titanium, but it was one window, so it wasn't like crazy, but it was way worth it.
In this photo here, and it's not maybe the best one to talk about, but there's a flat roof here.
Yep.
And then you did something have you done something with a flat roof before, or is this sort of the first time you've messed with a flat roof?
I have not done like flat roofs on houses before. And actually, I was a little bit worried about it because I just don't have a lot of knowledge about it. About what materials and how much slope and, who do you call? This roof is called a flat roof because it looks flat, but it is slightly pitched. Like this roof has, and that's the one over the windows. I don't know if you can put your cursor right over it there.
Right here.
It is sloping about 2 inches in 8 feet. So that's what we call flat in this reference here.
Which way is it pitched?
It is pitched the opposite direction of what we're looking at. So the water will go off the other side. There will be a gutter on it, and you see that like silver line across the top of it. That is a termination bar, and that actually fastens the rubber roof membrane to the fascia board. So it has like an Avantech floor is the framing. We've got 2x12s and then an Avantech 3/4 inch subfloor on top of that, and then on top of that they put a 2-inch high density foam board. And then the rubber roof membrane, which you could think of the rubber roof as like a pond liner.
Right.
It is made to be, in the weather, in the water. It doesn't matter. There are different materials for this. There was another material that my roofer recommended as well, but it was white. And that was a deal breaker, even though it was a better material for probably longevity and toughness and all that. But it wasn't available in a black color, and so that was a deal breaker for my homeowner.
Right.
And so I went with the black rubber. Now these will last a long, long time, and it's also serviceable. So that rubber roof, if it ever does, break down in the sun, or if it gets a tear, or a giant eagle lands on it and rips it with its claws, which is not unlikely because there are eagles.
Right.
We've got eagles going nuts up here every day. I mean, I'm serious. Now, do I think that the eagles are going to claw the roof up? No, I don't think so. But they might
be a warm place to nest in the winter.
The chances may be slim, but never zero.
If they put a koi pond up there or something.
Yeah, we on 120 Main, we put that rigid foam roof, which it wasn't flat, but it was it was almost like a W. There was anyway. And then it has a special paint on top of it, right? But it does. That was a roof in a flat area.
It was.
Sorry about that.
Brett's banging the table. We gave him a table this week. I don't know why. Ben gave him a table.
Well, I wanted a standing
He's
desk.
at the high top. He's sitting at a high top like he's at a bar.
I like to stand up when I work at the computer.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good for you. I stand up when I work too, building houses. So... to end on the rubber roof thing, I think it's a cool design that you can't get otherwise, without some special roofing material that can be flat or be almost flat at least. You can't put metal roofing on it like standing seam. They are actually only rated down to like a 212 pitch, a standing seam roof.
Yeah.
And like a standard tough rib, we call it, or an ag panel, a 3-foot panel. They're only rated down to like 312 pitch. That doesn't mean you can't put them lower at your own risk. But shingles is, cut off at like 3 or 412, unless you're crazy like me and you do it lower sometimes.
Yeah. We've had some pretty hard rain. Have you been up at the job site when it's rained?
Yep. Water.
How far does the water come off of that roof?
The big roofs, dude, water shoots off there like Niagara Falls. And we're going to get gutters. We're going to get gutters soon, but we have to finish the stucco finish on the columns. Maybe you can find a picture of those of the front porch or something with a porch with the columns on it.
Yeah, look at there.
Well, he'll get to it. At any rate, we need all of the finish. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The big yellow columns there that we wrapped in Advantech, it's going to get a stucco finish, and I have a stucco expert that's going to come and do this. And I'm excited to see what he has dreamed up of how he's going to construct his surface and how he's going to do it. But there will be a downspout on the column on the right, on the backside of what we're looking at now. There will be a downspout on that column. So we can't install the gutters until that finished material is applied, the stucco, and so that the downspout can be cut and installed properly and attached.
But the water's not coming off with so much velocity that it's going to just jump the gutter, is it?
I don't think so. We're gonna put a gutter on this like I've never put on a house before. It's gonna be more like a commercial box gutter than a standard gutter on a house. We call it a K style because I don't know why it's called that, but I don't know if that is resemblance of the K. If it actually appears to be in the shape of a K, if you look at the edge profile, the end of the gutter,
right,
or if that K stands for some other word, I don't know. But I will tell you that the scale of this house and a lot of things that we talk about, how we're going to do it is based off of this house is huge, the scale of it. So like these beams that stick out, they're huge because the scale of the house, it's fitting. And the size of the columns, they're huge, inexpensive, but given the scale of the house, how do you think a 6x6 post would look in the corner under that roof? Mm-hmm. It would look terrible. It would look like it's going to fail. And I don't know if it would or not, but it sure would look like very bad. So for example, in each of these columns, there's 4 6x6s connected with 3/4 inch sheathing that's nailed every 3 inches in every direction. So it is completely bomb-proof. They're immovable as far as a wood structure of that type is concerned, I think. So yeah, we're going to get gutters there. They're going to be more commercial looking, square edged and not curved in any way. And they're going to be big. They're going to be like an 8-inch gutter. And a standard house gutter is 6 inches nowadays. It used to be 5. Now it's 6.
Well, that answered my question.
But also you got to consider the water flow. These are big roofs, and a traditional design would split the water in half, like an A frame or a traditional truss, Right. It's all dependent on how big is the house. I say it splits it in half. Well, what if your house is twice as big? Well, then you'd get twice as much water. Okay, there you go. But you can see that there is a huge roof surface that's sending water all in one direction, and it is a lot of water. Mm-hmm. So the sizing of the gutter, the sizing and placement of the downspout, or multiple downspouts, and whether you're going to slope the gutter or run it flat.
And then when the water comes out of the bottom of the downspout.
Yeah, it's going to have some pressure. All the underground, digging for all the pipes that are going to connect to the downspouts is going to be happening soon.
Gotcha.
And so all the downspout locations have to be like kind of pre-selected when you're doing your final grading. If you have an opportunity to put the pipes in the ground ahead of time, that's great.
Yeah.
And it's necessary. You don't want that much water just getting dumped out of the gutter right beside your house, if it's a lot of water at least. And all the grade of the dirt has to slope away from the house. So the water that does land there goes away from your house and not in your house.
I'm glad you don't have anything to think about during the day.
I tell people I always have a storm in my brain because I like the word brainstorm because like thinking of all the ideas, I never think of it all, of course, but there is so much to consider. Okay.
Yeah.
You can probably tell just by, this short discussion on a few little topics about all the considerations. So, hey, let's talk about this tongue and groove for a minute, because that's really the only thing I wanted to talk about today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The K gutter is because of the profile.
Okay, so a K-style gutter is called that because it looks like the letter K.
Yep.
This
Fantastic.
is all you wanted to talk about today?
Well, I was just going to mention the tongue and groove, and then we got into all this building science stuff you want to talk about. Anyway, no, let's say the tongue and groove, we have about 3,000 square feet of ceiling that is covered in tongue and groove. You got that picture up right there that I'm looking at?
Yeah.
Okay. And so this material it's actually yellow pine, which is, I would say, unusual for tongue and groove. Like typically we use spruce because I guess I don't know if it's more readily available. That's what everybody stocks. at the lumber yards is spruce 1x6. It's really lightweight, easy to handle, and it takes stain very well, and has, a desirable look to it. But this yellow pine looks really good too. This is actually the first time I've ever put yellow pine tongue and groove on a ceiling. And it's a 1x6, and it covers 5 inches wide. So if you're going to figure for material for a 1x6, it's not 6 inches wide. Mm-hmm. And the same for your decking. If you're using 1x6 decking or something like that, or 5/4x6, it does not cover 6 inches. So I'm not going to get into exactly how do you figure, but just be aware you need to get more.
Just buy extra.
Yeah, the nominal size of the material is not what you base your estimating on. And in this case, we even had to figure the lengths of the material that would be cut into certain size pieces, not necessarily by square footage. It's like how many boards do you need to produce this certain number of lengths of board in the final finish. We'll talk about maybe we should do maybe an episode about figuring materials.
Yeah, because
that's a big part of my job.
I mean, that's a big part of a homeowner's DIY job.
Yeah. Oh, I better keep these headphones away from the mic here. We're going to get this crazy echo. We should do, and I'm just now thinking of this right now, of course, maybe not all inclusive, but the idea of figuring materials, and not necessarily the cost of materials, but just the quantity. Like when you're going to start a job, how do you figure out how much to get of what?
Yep.
And I've been doing this. I mean, that, like I said, that is a major part of my job, and I'm not going to say I'm like the best at it, but I'm pretty good at counting. So,
I mean, you're good at figuring the materials, not figuring out what it costs.
Yeah, well, you never know what it's going to cost, till it's paid for. So this tongue and groove, the coolest thing about this roof is this design. Like we've been talking about the decorative beams, and the fact that the tongue and groove runs vertically up the roof surface and not horizontal or perpendicular to the trusses, and that the beams run perpendicular to the roof slope, and that is unusual, at least in the sense that you see it here, because you'd like to think that the beams appear structural, and that's why they're appealing to look at, or it looks right. But the way that these beams are designed, some of them are structural and appear structural, and some of them, from a structural standpoint, it doesn't make sense. But it's an aesthetic. That's all it is. And it's a very cool one at that. So the tongue and groove running vertical runs in between the beam sections, and I really like that because we get to cut our pieces. They're all like 6 feet long.
Right.
And if you have ever tried to manhandle a 16-foot piece of tongue and groove and get it to engage with the piece that you just got done wrestling with, and if the board is curved at all or your framing is not perfect, which is every time, or if the tongue and groove fit is really tight, or if you pre-finished it a little too much and you got build up thickness of paint or finish, which I highly recommend, by the way, and that's a whole nother day of talk about pre-finishing materials and why and how. But this is pre-finished material. We sent it to a company that just does pre-finishing because of the quantity. It's, like I said, about 3,000 square feet of material plus all the beam trim. It was about, if you want to look at this material in thirds, we have 2/3 tongue and groove material and 1/3 trim material to cover all the beams. So having it pre-finished was excellent because we could literally just cut it, put it up, and it appears done because it is. And so at any rate, you can't just nail this material on vertically in this going up the pitch of the roof without doing some framing ahead of time to accommodate that nailing orientation. So you can either put blocking in between your trusses. Actually, can you find the picture? There's a bedroom that shows that grid of, I think that's it right there. So you can see in the ceiling here, there's boards like in a square kind of pattern. We actually put blocking in between the trusses, and it is time consuming. We did the blocking in between the trusses on this room in order to keep the trim higher, or the ceiling material higher. Like I could have stripped below the trusses, and we did in the other rooms, and I think we can show that in another picture. But in this room, the whole point is that all of the framing that had to be done ahead of time in order for us to be able to apply this material vertically. Otherwise, you got nothing to nail it to. That's the whole problem. So that's why traditionally the wood runs perpendicular to the structure or the trusses, is because that's what you can nail it to. And it takes extra work and time and material and therefore expense in order to turn it 90 degrees.
Yeah.
But it's a cool look. Now, if the house was truly framed out of beams or trusses that ran the length of those yellow decorative beams, that's just our subframe for those beams. That gives us something to attach the finished material to. If those were actually structural and we could have built on top of those with a finished material running above them, then it could have happened like a SIP panel, like a structural insulated panel. You can run SIP panels on top of beams like that and get a finished material that does run vertical. And you would apply it on top of the beams, but not in between, okay, typically. At any rate, you can see here we have 2x4s that are nailed to the bottom of the trusses. They run perpendicular to the trusses. And that actually gave a great averaging of trusses that may be high or low also. It's sort of, I really like the idea of cross framing. And I just made that up, that word. But the idea of running other material perpendicular to one set of material, it strengthens, but it also averages out differences in the material if there's imperfections in the heights of the trusses or any bow or a crown if in a regular joist. I really like it. We've done roofs like that too, where we actually put strips like that on top of the roof and then put your sheathing on that. I just really like it. I think if I could have it my way, I would cross frame everything, like all the stud walls too. Arlo did that in his house, and he said he couldn't believe how amazing the strength of it. Straightened and flattened all of his walls, because studs are not straight usually. And so when you put something that actually has rigidity and strength, like flat studs or flat strips like this out of 2x material, it actually will flatten and strengthen your walls. And he also used it for insulation purposes. But anyway, so the whole point is I really enjoyed putting up the tongue and groove on this ceiling in this way.
Yeah. Have you started on the inside with the tongue and groove? I
know we did. I don't know if there's a picture of it. I don't know that
I think these are all outside, but
yes, we did, and we didn't finish it completely because we're going to try to let the drywallers get their tape and their mud up,
Gotcha.
All the way up behind where the tongue and groove is going to contact the ceiling, and we just thought it'd be better. So, but basically, this is what it looks like right now, and we're excited to be close to being done.
I mean, it looks great. And I know there's a lot more to do.
There is a lot more to do, but the farther that we get along, the more things that are the problem solving is heavy on the front end of a build, right? The heavy duty thinking of how is this going to get built, what material structurally, and a lot of this wasn't spelled out, by the way, on this house, and so this was figuring this stuff out on the fly was difficult and stressful on this job, and I learned a lot though, that's for sure. So as we get to the mid to the end of the job, there's more stuff behind us that was hard to figure out than there is ahead of us.
Right.
So I'm actually
but only because of how much you planned.
Well, yes, there's constant planning from the contractor position of what are we doing now and how is it going? What is next? Who and what materials and how do I need to accomplish that? And then what is the thing after that and who's involved? What materials need to be selected, purchased, sourced, all the options picked out, everything. So yeah, the job of being a contractor is orchestrating everything coming and going, all the manpower and all the materials and all the selections of materials and all the financial stuff that is going to be required to achieve all this stuff. And that'd be great to talk about in depth another time too, but I can't start on that because then we'll be here for a couple more hours. So, but
save it.
I will say I'm excited at this point to see, to just see the finished materials begin to be on this thing is a huge step for us. And this tipping point, I'll call it, of getting the exterior basically done and us moving into interior finishes is going to be excellent. I'm excited about it. I know my homeowner's excited about it. And there's so much work on the outside of the house, on the outside that is difficult, high work, like all of the machines that we have to use to get, these beam pieces put in outside, all the tongue and groove. We used a machine a lot outside, a lift, and we actually had multiple lifts on site for a while, which was great as well because the roofer brought one. Because to do all the soffits, it's all out of a machine.
Right.
And so, it just took a long time. I mean, everything, if you're thinking about building a house too, anything high off the ground is going to take way longer.
Yeah.
And therefore it will cost way more because it's just taking more time and it's more difficult. It's just, you have to work slower too because you're being cautious more than, not that you shouldn't be cautious. If you're 6 feet above the ground on a ladder, you can still, fall and get hurt. You need to be cautious no matter what you're doing, of course. But
when you're 40.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I had my well visit at the doctor today.
Oh.
My well patient. I don't know what they call that.
Checkup.
Wellness check.
Yeah, there you go. I had that today. Actually, you see my Band-Aid right there?
Oh yeah.
They took my blood. I was trying to think of something funny to say. I was at the front desk, turned in my paper order for getting my blood drawn. And I said, hey, where does my blood go when they test it? And she was like, it goes to such and such laboratory, and they'll send us the results in a couple days. I said, oh, that's great. I said, I hope I get my blood back when they're done with it, right? They're going to send it back. And of course I was joking, but she looked at me like I was an idiot. And I said, I bet you get that joke all the time. Sorry.
I wonder if they send it to Transylvania County.
I think they send it to Asheville. Transylvania. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. You got me. We do have a Transylvania County, though, close by. So
towards cremation with the Asheville.
Oh, my
I was like,
goodness.
man, that was 2 dad jokes.
You're killing me. Yeah. All right, then. Well, so I had to sit and get my blood drawn. I actually don't do great with blood stuff.
Really?
I'll pass out sometimes. Hey, yeah, dude, I have fainted. Black out. Have you ever blacked out, Brett?
No.
Not intentionally. I mean, I've been in a car accident when I was knocked unconscious. But.
Oh, wow. Well, I found out that I will black out if I see too much blood or some things. Maybe some things don't bother me and some things do. And so when I was sitting there, I had to hold my arm like this, and the nurse was gonna draw my blood, and I said, hey, just so you know, I'm gonna kind of lean back in this chair because if I pass out, I don't want to hit the floor. And she's like, okay, hold on. She already had the thing around my arm, the rubber band thing. Uh-huh. And she was like, all right, hold on. She took that off. She's like, let me go get one of the other nurses. And they actually fanned me with this plastic, like a clipboard.
Oh my God.
I was like, does that help? She's like, oh yeah, it helps. I was like, okay. I was like, I feel bad. You standing there with fanning me while and they got me water and they were ready to catch me if I fell down. But it worked out great. I didn't faint, and I guess the fanning helped, and I was totally fine. I did get sick to my stomach though. Still, I walked out of there. They told me to take it easy.
It's a good thing for you. I don't get squeamish.
Yeah, it is a good thing. Well, Brett drove me to the hospital when I cut my fingers off. So,
well, I will say with this build too, I know some, with all of your builds, when it gets to this time and you're using subs, you're not there as much. So there's not as many updates on the Perkins Builder Brothers channel with videos pertaining to this.
Yeah.
And I think this, just like you've talked about with other things, it's so big, it takes so long. These gaps are bigger of you guys not being on the job making content.
Definitely. I mean, the drywall process, oh man, I don't know how long they've been there. It's been 6 weeks.
I mean, they're still there.
They're still there. And it's not even, if you ask me, hey, is it close to being done? Like a day or two? No, it's not. And it is just taking forever.
Right.
And there's things out of my control. The drywall guys, they have some other jobs too. They might not be there a couple days here and there because they have other contractors and other jobs they're committed to. And I get them as much as I can, and I convince them with the best way that I can to be on my job while not being a jerk, to them. And, they're my friends too. I mean, obviously I've known them, like I said earlier, for 20 years. These are my buddies, and they know the deal. They know my expectations. I know their expectations of me as someone that's hiring them. And we're all doing the best that we can. And so that's it. I don't know. What do you want from me?
You just went into a daze there.
Oh, dude, I can't think about it for too long, or I might, I don't know, something.
Friday. Let's stop talking about it.
All right, we're gonna wrap this one up for now. That is the update. That is the current state of it, and I appreciate everybody who has joined us here and followed along and listened. I hope you can, congratulations if you made it this far. You're amazing, because we barely made it, but if you stuck around, thank you, and be curious. And if you don't know, just ask.
See you next time.